Hi everybody, this is Leo Vlant with one of my Informal Evenings videos. I've been meaning to capture my Franky the Cat on video, and finally he jumped up on my lap and I had the presence of mind to bring up the video camera. So yeah, we'll be playing that clip, but first let me tell you a little bit about Franky. It was like fate brought us together. You see, I was doing one of my sunset exercise walks and I decided to do what I rarely ever do, and that is I took a shortcut across the parking lot. I also went out walking without wearing my hearing aids, but usually I feel I have no trouble at all hearing traffic noises. So yeah, I was cutting diagonally through this parking lot when I heard some squeaky chirping sound behind me, and I turned around expecting to see a bird, but I saw a little 6 or 7 week old Franky. Yeah, I gasped. The little thing was just so beautiful. And I had always wanted a blue cat. You see, years ago during my feline socialization volunteering, where I'd socialize kittens or go to boarding kennels and visit with cats whose people were off on vacation, well, I had met a blue, and she was the sweetest cat I'd ever worked with. But, over the last 10 years, I moved to this new place. I haven't even seen a blue cat. And suddenly there was this gorgeous little blue down in front of me. And the tuxedo markings only made him seem all that much more better because I've wanted a tuxedo too, because they're all so famously sweet. So this little kitten would be the best of both worlds. Well, the little thing had been chasing me down from behind, but then, when I stopped and turned around, first he stopped in his tracks. But when I began to approach him, he seemed to have gotten some second thoughts and began to retreat back to hide under one of the parked cars. Instantly, I warned him. I said, "Oh, no, you don't. If you make me crawl under a car to get you, then I'm going to go home and eat a big pile of food all by myself." Well, yeah, the logic there is flawed, but he got the point. And he immediately stopped and turned around to face me again. Yeah, he stood there and waited for me to walk up, bend down, and pick him up for the first time. Well, yeah, of course I kissed his little head, but then I took a close look at him, evaluate him. Well, this was going to be my easiest rescue. He was plump and healthy. Later, I would find a slight infestation of fleas, as though he had just picked them up. So I supposed he had only just been dropped off. You see, where I come from, the local kennel is notorious for euthanizing dogs and cats that people drop off, ostensibly so they can be adopted. So after friends and relatives won't take all the foster kittens off their hands, one trick people use is to drop kittens off in the parking lots of high-end, swanky establishments that see a lot of female clientele. The demographic most likely to reach down and pick up a cute stray kitten and give it the best home. So yeah, little Franky hadn't been alone and confused long enough to make him overly fearful, and his health didn't seem to be stressed in the least. I figured he had been so lovingly fostered that he simply missed human contact, and he found the gruff voice of a man to be somehow reassuring. It was about 1/8 of a mile to my apartment, and I went the whole way holding him over my heart so he could hear or even feel my heartbeat. It's like he used to listen to his own mother's heartbeat. And I'd be kissing his little head and telling him, "You're okay, you're okay," and then, "I love you, I love you." Yeah, I was so happy. I met 3 or 4 people along the way and proudly showed them it's my new kitten. Look at my new kitten. I was beaming like a proud father. Really, I already love that little thing. I already named him before I was halfway home. Okay, this is how my ultra-logical thought process went. You see, since he was a tuxedo, and the coolest guy who ever wore a tuxedo was Frank Sinatra, well, of course that would mean his name was meant to be Franky Blue Tux. But again, fate just seems to have her fingerprints all over this because there was a far better reason for naming him Frank. Yeah, after I got home, I started researching to find out why a blue cat would have copper-colored eyes. You see, both the Russian blues, along with their cousins the Maltese blues, and the Korat blues, well, they all have green eyes, and I hadn't realized that blues could have any other color eyes but green. But a few searches led me to the French chartreuse cats, who, first of all, have orange or copper-colored eyes, but they are also characteristically sweet and gentle. They vocalize mostly by chirping, meowing only when in distress, and they grow up to be stout. But they continue to be playful and are known to be quite acrobatic. Well, since he was French, a French chartreuse, it made a whole lot more sense now that his name was Frankie. It's short for Francis, where the original meaning of Francis was to indicate a Frenchman, or what they used to call a Frank. Yeah, it was like he already had his name before I even turned around for him. Yeah, fate is all over this thing. Fate is all over this thing. So yes, let's take a look at the tape of Frankie jumping up. Oh, I didn't see it at the time, but just before the end, you'll see little Siamese Tommy stick his head up over the edge of the chair and beckon to Frankie that I've gotten enough quality time and it's now time to do some chasing around and playing. But yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. Now, let it roll. Hey, Frankie. Yeah, I love you. Pretty, look at this. And he jumped up, and I've been wanting to get a video of him, and I went, well, please take a video of him when he jumps up. Take care. Bye-bye, Frankie. Bye-bye, everybody.